have a question for you, Eric.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
You, Lucas, have a question for me?
I do.
I'm here every day.
Wonderful.
You could ask me anytime.
Ted actually has a question for you.
Okay, that makes more sense.
He is asking, might Eric know of any authentic ancient ghillie brogues for faring, etc.? I think he means historical footwear.
Yeah, it's really going to depend on what time period you're trying to do. What do you call it? The medieval moccasins, the bog shoes. A lot of people really like those, but my understanding is that they're based on a very specific example from a very specific early period, and I'm not sure they're appropriate for every time period. They're very ubiquitous. It's easy to find them. I would check out a vendor called Boots by Bohemond. He mostly sells to the SCA, that's the Society for Creative Anachronism. He has a range of historical shoes, and depending on the period you're going for, I would suspect that for most periods, a medieval turn shoe will be what you want. Now, if you want something that's more 17th, 18th century looking, then you're starting to get into more built shoes with an actual sole, an actual heel. Very often the buckle brogues are going to come in if you're going to 18th century. So if you want to do that, there's a vendor called Townsend's, and you can check them out for some historical shoes. Very robust. They're aimed at 18th century reenactors. So think about the time period that you want to represent. You can probably get by for most of the decades of the medieval Renaissance period that people go for fair. Basic pair of turn shoes will be fine, and the dirtier and muddier and more broken in you get them, the better they'll look. So,
the one thing I'll point out is I've seen patterns online if you're crafty at all, and you can work with leather. I've seen patterns online for the style of shoe where it's basically like a bunch of little leaves kind of thing in the leather.
Yeah, that's the bog shoe.
And then the lace comes through it and you just pull it tight.
That's a bog shoe. It's I believe it's called a bog shoe because the original specimen it's based on came out of a bog in Ireland, and I believe it's Dark Ages period. I think for most of the medieval Renaissance period turn shoes, which are not really much more complicated to make. Honestly,
Right.
You can make your own turn shoes too, and you'll find plenty of patterns for those. But not hard to find. Hopefully that helps.